Breaking Glory, soon to be famous one day, Nick Dutch, whatever. Back again one more time. Yep, this is on lulu.com. Get yourself a copy if you want. The Grimoire and the Herbal by Nick Dutch, all my work. And it's just as ungrammatical as the rest of my work, isn't it great? Either way, today's a couple of stories, really good positive pagan stories. Now, the reason that these stories are good is because they're under the surface. Okay, now, sorry, my nicotine pouch is a little loose there. Right, this is interesting because not many people know about this. It's kind of like our little secret. In Portland, Oregon, there's a heathen kindred called Hearthfinders. They meet in the back room of a Norwegian bakery every Thursday. They run what they call runes to resumes. The person in charge is a former HR director and teaches veterans how to translate military skills into civilian language and civilian lifestyle using the meanings of the runes as metaphors. So that's considered raiding party coordination becomes cross-functional team leadership, and shield wall tactics becomes collaborative crisis management. So they're taking the more aggressive, almost militaristic language associated with some aspects of runistry, and they're moving that into how to get on with people in a professional environment. Okay, and they've placed 37 veterans in tech jobs in the last 18 months. All right, amazing social action, very good. Now, the next story, this is going to make you just a little bit. Okay, this is probably the most important story I could possibly give you, because it's about collaboration. The story in Detroit of a Gardnerian Coven who have partnered with a Black Baptist church. A Gardnerian Coven has partnered with a Black Baptist Christian church. And they've created the Employment Grove, which is where the witches handle the practical magic, namely confidence spells and making people feel good about themselves, basically a form of prayercraft to give people confidence to do things. And then there's networking, and there's sigils hidden in various different business cards, mock interviews held inside the circles so that the nervousness can be transmuted into focused intent, and also so they can practice in, I suppose, a safe environment. And the church provides the space, the child care, the casseroles and foods and teas and coffees, and they've helped 200 people find steady work since since COVID. 200 people have found work, and this is a combination between Christian activity and pagan activity to try and solve a problem. This is good. This is what I like. This is people getting on as people. It's not a question of our traditions say this, our traditions say that. It's a question of there's a problem out there in society, and we have compassion for it, and even though we are different, we are going to overcome that and start to do something constructive together. Good for the witches, good for the Black Baptist Christian Church, okay? Now, here's another one. There is somewhere a solitary hedge witch in Kentucky. She calls herself the Career Crone. She works exclusively with recovering addicts. Okay? This is very quiet. It's under the, she's got no social media about this. Just word of mouth. She teaches them to forage for medicinal herbs to help with their healing, and helps them getting forestry certifications, and connects them with sustainable agriculture programs. And she says that addiction and unemployment are both about disconnections from purpose. So she's trying to connect people to a sense of purpose and give people something else to do when they're in recovery. This is good. And one of her former apprentices, a former addict of meth, got hired as a head gardener in a monastery. The abbot called it divine providence. The witch just smiled and said, "The land remembers who shows up for it." These are not the stories you will see on TikTok. These are not the stories you would see in headlines. These are not the stories people would talk about, in pagan circles necessarily. This is under the radar. It isn't viral. It's just a quiet thing happening in the background. People helping people and doing good. All right? The best we encourage, the worst we discourage. And I think that's the way it should be. Peace, love, and harmony to one and all.